How's it going, YouTube? It's Cheat Like a Champ, and welcome to the first of many Ghost Recon tips and tricks videos. And since it is day one of the release, I figured I'd do a video on some good class and gun setups for the Rifleman class, because the Rifleman class is my favorite class as of now, because I have the Engineer, the Scout, and the Rifleman unlocked, and you unlock 3 more once you get one character to level 50. But as of right now, I'm enjoying the Rifleman class the most because it has assault rifles that have lots of accuracy and kill really quickly. So for me, the Rifleman class is one of the best for right now, and I just wanted to go over some good setups for both teams, Team Ghost and Bodark, and show you what guns and attachments and stuff I use. So I'm going to go to loadout really quick and primary weapon. I'm going to use the ACR just because the ACR is a complete boss in this game, and when I'm tricking this gun out, I'm going for control over anything else, because control and recoil, if you have those two things in control, you'll be able to spray with the ACR, pinpoint accuracy, and kill the enemies a lot quicker. So first of all, we're going to go to optics. I prefer the red dot sight just because that's how I roll. Red dot is really good on the ACR because I don't like the iron sights too much. The paint, it really doesn't matter what paint you have, but I prefer the green one. I think it looks pretty cool. And then the trigger, I don't mess with it. I just keep it at the fully auto, and it's worked out pretty well for me. Magazine, I suggest dual mags because if you put drum magazine on, then it will weigh you down and you won't have as much maneuverability. So dual mags is definitely a way to go for that. Underbarrel, I would highly suggest the angled foregrip because it increases your control and it decreases the recoil. Then for the gas system, I think the standard one you get is a balance between rate of fire and control, but I use the undergassed because it increases your control but decreases the rate of fire. This is important because this assault rifle already has a good bit of damage and rate of fire, so if you increase the control, you're going to get a lot more kills with it. So I use the undergassed. And then for the side rail, there is aiming laser, but I prefer not to use that because the aiming laser kind of gives the enemy like a know-how of when they're gonna get killed, because if you're aiming at someone, they're gonna see the laser on their screen and try to get the cover. So I try to avoid that, and I don't use the laser. So the barrel, I just keep that standard. The muzzle, I would highly suggest the compensator because it doesn't do anything to the damage of your gun or to the rate of fire or anything. It's not even a silencer, it's just called a compensator, and it increases the control of your gun by decreasing the recoil. So definitely put the compensator on. And then the last thing, the stock, I would use the fixed because it increases the control by reducing the amount of recoil. So this is what your gun should look like after it's done, and let's take this thing to firing range quick. So as you can see, I'm going to aim in at this guy, and I'm not going to use my right analog stick at all to control it. I'm just going to hold my right trigger and let it fly. So that's how it is whenever you don't use your right stick to control it. But if you aim in and use your right stick to control it just a bit, like that, see how accurate that is? It hits him every single bullet. So let's see it at a distance here. And that's fairly accurate too compared to what it used to be. And let's see this guy in the distance. If you burst fire from a distance, it works also. And yeah, I think this is the best class setup for the ACR as of right now. So try that out, and now we are going to switch factions and go to the Bodark. I think that's how you pronounce it, the Bodark faction. So for the Bodark faction, in my opinion, they don't have as good of an assault rifle. They have the AK-200, which is kind of like the AK-47. It looks to me like that anyways. And it's not as good as the ACR, but it still packs a punch. So I'm going to show you my setup for it. So first of all, for the optics, I do not use anything. I like the iron sight on this gun. It's an AK-47 iron sight from like Call of Duties if you ever played them. I always like the AK-47 iron sight, so definitely stick with that. The paint, like I said, it really doesn't matter. They have some cool paints for this though, but I prefer to stick to the blue one. So the trigger, fully auto, I don't mess with that. Magazine. Now, the ironic thing about this is the dual magazines and the extended magazines for this are not that big of a difference, because like on the ACR it was like a big drum magazine and that would weigh you down a lot, but the extended magazines on this one doesn't, and I think it's a real help. So definitely try extended mags on this. It gives you those few extra bullets to get a few more kills. Underbarrel, definitely angled foregrip again because it increases your control. And then gas system. This is the same as the ACR, used under gas to increase your control but decrease rate of fire. It'll give you a lot more accuracy, trust me. That's probably one of the main things that'll contribute to your accuracy. Side rail, like I said before, default. Barrel, default. Muzzle, compensator because it'll increase your control. And then the stock, you're going to use fixed again, just like on the ACR, because it'll increase your control. So, as you basically know from watching me go through all these attachments, I am focusing these on control because that's how I feel I should play with assault rifles. Focus on accuracy and control over maneuverability and stuff. But when I do class setups for like previous classes that I skipped over, like the scout and the engineer, I'll be focusing on other things like maneuverability and stuff. So, as you can see right here, we are going to fire this AK-47 and see how it goes. So this is without me moving my right analog stick, and let's see how it goes. It still raises a bit, but it's not as bad as it was. So let's try now with me controlling the gun with my right analog stick. Oh yeah, as you can see, that's pretty easy to control. All you gotta do is push down on your right analog stick just a tad bit, and it gives it a lot more control. And this gun is pretty powerful too, so it's a win-win for everyone. And then it's even accurate when you shoot with it like that. So this is probably the best gun to use for the assault rifle class, mainly because I don't think that the other class, the RPK or the PKP, are that great, because LMGs in this game just aren't good in my opinion. So the next gun you unlock, I think, is the Type 95 at level 20. Wow, can't wait to do a gameplay with that. So until next time, guys, peace!